Hello, everybody, and welcome to another in our series of network marketing TV shows. I'm again joined by the wonderful Chris Ogle. Say hello, Chris.
Yeah, hi Sarah.
How are you doing?
Yeah, I'm good, thanks. Probably
In your
not.
new pimped up office?
Yeah, this is where I'm going to be doing a lot of the shows from the future. So it's much better on the screen than it is in reality. I'm actually surrounded by rubbish.
But it looks good from here, so it's all that matters. Pleasing on the eye.
Okay, good stuff.
Fab. And I'm also joined by the wonderful John Burgess. If you want to say hello, John. Oh, we are somewhere. If he can hear us, can you hear us, John?
I've just heard the last sentence you just said there. Can you hear us? And voice is sounding a bit like a robot, but
No.
I know that's not you. The reception's not the best at the moment.
Oh no. Well, we'll see how we do.
Hello.
Can you hear us now?
Hello.
Hello.
Not very well. Really bad
Oh.
reception. Can't hear.
Oh no. Chris, do us a tap dance.
Try again. You're there now. I can hear you now.
Can you hear us okay?
I think the reception is probably going to be a little
Gone
bit
again.
hit and miss. Have you got Wi-Fi there, John, or is it on a mobile? Or
Hello.
hi, John, can you hear us?
This is the
I
joys
can
of
hear
life.
you now. Yes, that's working.
Okay, so it might be that you're just
No, it's on again.
your Wi-Fi is a bit on and off down there.
This is what you get when you do it live, you see. No rehearsal.
Okay, let's just I think he might be trying to come back on again now. Let's see if this is second him coming back. He can. It's only better. He's in. Okay, we'll wait and see whether John can rejoin us, Sarah. But one of the issues, and you know, you've been speaking to John. One of the issues that he sort of brings to the table is one where what happens if something goes wrong with the network marketing company that you're a part of. So, could you tell us a little bit about the organisation that John's was involved in?
Yeah, so John was with a company called Nature's Sunshine, which had been around for a very long time, actually, and had been in the UK for quite some time. And I think John had built a very successful business within the organisation. And unfortunately, they decided in the UK to change the model. So it was no longer a network marketing company and was more of just a direct selling organisation, which for some people was fine if they were just focusing on direct selling. But of course, for a lot of people who were being very successful in the industry or in the company, they were doing a combination of direct selling and network marketing, which I believe actually is what creates a stable business anyway, is having the combination of the two. So obviously for those leaders who were growing businesses and growing teams of people doing what they were doing, it was a massive blow because it meant that their whole compensation plan changed, the whole business model had changed, and it wasn't quite what they'd envisioned it to be, really. It was just direct selling, and with a direct selling company, you're never going to be able to earn as much as you could earn through a network marketing model being combined with direct selling, because it's just you selling product. And although yes, you can earn a good amount, it's never going to have the scalability that adding in the network marketing element would have, because like I said, it's just you. So again, it's a bit like taking a step back to how you used to be, because most people join a network marketing company so they can stop trading their time for money. And it was like, here's a blow in the face. You're going to start trading your time for money again. So I know for John that was quite a big change and a big upheaval, especially when you've been with a company for quite some time, for that to happen. I think what's very interesting about John's story is the fact that he's transitioned over to another company, And I really like that, because what that shows is that he believes in the network marketing industry, and it hasn't let that experience doubt the industry for him. It's not kind of dampened that fire of what this industry can create for people. And the great thing is as well, you know, he's done a lot of the background work and done a lot of the personal development. And if he's done it with one company, then he can do it again. I think where the problem may lie is with people who flip from one company to the next, to the next, to the next, because they try one and it's not working, and then they try another one and it's not working, and then they try a third one and it's not working. And it's like, actually, it's not the company that's not working, it's you that's not working. And obviously that's not been the case with John, because he's built a very successful organization. It was just unfortunate that the company decided to change the compensation plan. One of the things that I do find that comes up a lot when I share the network marketing concept and the company that I work with people is I do often get that question of, but what if something happened to the company and they decided to change or sell in shops, or they went bust? And it really makes me laugh, because yes, of course, that's a possibility. But like me and you were talking about, Chris, you know, the possibility is the sky could fall down. The possibility is you could start a business and the markets change. There are what ifs in everything in life, absolutely everything. And if we always based our life on what if, we would never do anything. And that's the thing. It's about having that kind of gumption and oomph to take a calculated risk to do something that is different from the norm, no matter what the what ifs may be. And I truly believe that it's those experiences that shape you anyway and lead you on the right path to where you're supposed to go. So for me, it didn't even cross my mind, what if, you know, the company changes, or they decide not to give you a Mercedes anymore, or this happens. Or I just didn't even think about it. I was like, well, that's just like anything in life. You know, what if you get made redundant tomorrow? What if a company goes bust? But what if?
Yeah, John, you've come back. You're on mute. You're on mute at the moment, so you'll need to take your mouse up towards the top of the screen and unmute yourself. Can you hear us?
I can hear you loud and clear now. And see you both.
That's good.
So we've been doing a lot of
winging it.
What you think you would have said?
It's like that. It's been putting words into your mouth for you.
I heard everything Sarah shared just then. I was listening in. So
wonderful. So John, over to you. We want to hear your story, how you got involved in the network marketing industry, kind of what drew you to the industry in the first place, and the company that you were a part of, and just talk us through kind of how that all progressed and where you're at now.
Yeah, sure, Sarah. It was a really interesting story, actually, because when I first got started 12 years ago now in network marketing, I was never looking for a business. It wasn't on my radar. In fact, I wasn't even interested in the products. It took someone 3 months to even persuade me to take a supplement and a product. I think there's a real lesson in there with regards to persistence, because actually in the end I had a business that was turning over 80,000, probably more like 65,000 pounds worth of products a month, from somebody who was very skeptical about the need for supplements and in network marketing as well. So anyway, after 3 months, I thought, yeah, I will take a supplement just so I can tell them that it doesn't work. I was that convinced. And then after 2 weeks of taking a product, I was amazed and thought, I had a week without it, and I said, I've got to get some more of that because my energy levels were far better. I was somebody who thought I felt fine anyway, positive mindset, I was healthy, I was into fitness. I mean, my background is in health and fitness. For 20 years, I've worked in health and fitness. As a personal trainer, as a fitness manager and within gyms, and now in corporate wellness as well. So I thought I felt fine, but then you don't know what you don't know, do you? And I didn't know that I could feel better than I was already feeling. So that was really kind of enlightening me that, okay, there's something in this, and there's something extra to be gained from incorporating supplements into a healthy lifestyle. So yeah, that's how I started sharing it with my friends, my family. Actually, they were helping my wife with various things, my mother, slightly high blood pressure, and then various clients with digestive issues, helped them, which was really exciting because that was my focus. How can I serve more? How can I help more? And out of that, I was earning £200 or so a month, which, you know, when I wasn't looking for it, was just a nice little bonus at the time. And then from that, sat on that for far too long, in my opinion, but for over a year or so, I was just, happy sharing the products. And then there was a moment where I thought, well, me and my wife are starting our family now, and there's an opportunity, and so that my wife didn't have to go back to work. My real proper goal, and this is when it started to grow, was when I set the goal of in 9 months I want to cover the mortgage with this business, so she doesn't have to go back to work. She can be a full-time mum, which I think is a great gift to give any children. And that's what we did. That's what it did. Grew it, got to £1,000 in that time, and then I got really excited and thought, okay, let's go to the next level. Let's cover all bills, and what I believe is, more financial freedom. So then took it to that goal. Then had some fun because I thought I need a new car now. Let's have some fun with this rather than the boring bills. Took it to that and kept growing it. And just because I purely love what it does for people, both from helping people with their health, which was the company I was with at the time, and also setting them, giving them more freedom of time, which I think is a precious gift. It's not one thing that we don't get back is time. I've probably talked far too much already, but hopefully that gives you a bit of an insight. And then, actually, just to wrap up on kind of my journey is with regards to the 12 years. Built it up at my pace organically, part-time, to give me a full-time income. So certainly early this year I had a couple of months where it was over £4,000 a month, and I was still working part-time on the business as well. Great.
Fabulous. And it's so wonderful to hear that, because I can tell from you, John, that you're someone who likes to help people. You like to give people opportunities and things like that, and that's what I truly believe the network marketing industry is all about, is helping people with the product and helping people with the business concept. So after that 12 years, tell us a little bit more about what then happened.
Yeah, it was a bit of a shock, and it was only a couple of months ago actually, so I'm surprised I'm smiling so much and still enjoying the network marketing and what it can provide, etc. It was probably two of the worst weeks of my life actually, 8 weeks ago. And it was a bit of a surprise, and the company I was with decided to pull the network marketing model and the commissions out of the business. A lot of their business, I'd say probably 85% of the business, was direct sellers. We attract a lot of therapists, nutritionalists, etc. And they liked the products. They sold the products, but it was a smaller percentage and band of us that were networking it. So there was a gentleman at the time who was license holder for exclusive rights of selling the products to the UK and Ireland. It's a very well-established business. I mean, they've been going for over 40 years as a company. In the last 2 years to be able to, build his business more and have more control over his business. And he decided to change the model to suit more the direct sellers. It was a business decision. Of which a large percentage of the network were direct sellers, but unfortunately what that meant for the networkers was there was no longer a model for us. And for me, it was the networkers that had actually built that database for ourselves and for the company as well. So, I won't say any more about what I think to the idea, but it was a pretty big hit. It took my income down from £4,000 a month to £500 a month in the new model. So, when that's 80% of the income into our home, it was a big shock.
Yeah, absolutely. And we were just talking about this when you were having trouble with the internet, with regards to the fact that obviously a lot of people who join a network marketing company join it for that network marketing element, the fact that it's time leverage, it's not just you. And that just really highlights why a hybrid of the two is such a beneficial thing to have, isn't it? Because the difference in that income from just it being direct selling to being direct selling and network marketing is vast. It's so big.
Yeah, well, I mean, we're the marketers for the business and the products. So, without us, someone's going to have to be doing a lot of advertising, spending a lot of money advertising. It's really, we know that people join this business from people they know and trust. So it changes the game, hugely to change the model. So
absolutely,
see how that goes.
yeah, absolutely. And so when that happened, what was your initial kind of thoughts? What did you think you were going to do? Did you think immediately, right, I'm going to, I understand this industry, I'm going to go and find another company? Or did you think, do you know what, that's it, I'm done with the network marketing industry? What was your initial reaction?
Hello?
Oh, can you hear us?
Can you still hear me? I can't hear you now, Sarah.
You're back now. Can you hear me now?
Hello?
Oh no.
Just getting really interesting as well.
It's getting into the juicy bits. Oh no.
Hello?
Oh, can you hear us now?
Hello.
Hello.
Hello. Well, I kind of got rid of that hello then.
Can you hear me now? No, I guess not. Chris, what would you do in that situation? I'm going to put you on the spot instead. Not with the internet situation, I mean with the company situation.
I mean, I think the interesting thing is that, and I think this is something that we need to be acutely aware of going forward, is that we really can't afford to put all of our eggs in one basket. And, you know, like if John had got a situation there where he had 3 or 4 different income streams, either John, you back?
Hello.
You back there?
I'm back. Yeah, can you hear me?
Okay, yeah. Hang on 1 second, then we'll be with you. So I think what we need to be thinking about is moving towards a period of time where we have perhaps 3 or 4 things going on, where perhaps one of them is the major thing that we're concentrating on, but we've got other things that we're interested in, that we're passionate about, that are either capable of replacing or they're complementing, so we've got a basket of income coming in. And I think that it all comes down, I think, to the word resilience. At the end of the day, we need resilience, and the old model of going out to work for a company and then they fire you and that's the end of life as we know it, to having 3 or 4 things that we're in control of and being able to mix those 3 or 4 things and give us a much more, if you like, fulfilling life, I think is really important. And I think this kind of thing highlights that. And if we look at our lives, we're all involved in different things that we enjoy, and if we can turn that into a bit of income, then we're not caught with our pants down or whatever it is for females. when potentially what would normally be considered disaster, it's a blip, a big blip possibly, but not the end of the world.
Yeah, yeah. So John, now you're back. We just got into the exciting part of the story. Tell us, when that all happened, like 8 weeks ago, so it's still quite fresh. What were your initial thoughts? Were you like, right, that's it, I'm done with network marketing, I'm going to focus on something else? Or did you think, right, I'm going to find another good network marketing company because I understand this industry and I'm going to crack on and do what I've already done
I'm hoping you can hear me.
Yes.
I'm hoping you can hear me.
I can hear you. Can you hear me?
Can you hear me?
Yeah.
Hello.
Hello.
There's a big lag on the line. I think that's what the problem is.
I think we're having issues.
So John,
yes, hello.
Just talk and hopefully we'll get most of the message. Did you hear what Sarah's question?
The majority of it, but I missed the end bit. But it was more about, how did I respond and react to what happened?
Yeah. So that's what we want to know, really. Is like, did you think to yourself, right, that's the end of it, I'm never going to touch this kind of thing again, or what was the thought processes going through your mind?
Yeah, well, there was the initial shock first and foremost, but very quickly, within half an hour of that shock, I really pulled on the self-development that I'd really gathered over the 12 years. As we know, this industry is fantastic at helping people to grow as individuals. And within half an hour, I just had this inner feeling that this was going to work out for the better. I didn't necessarily know how, but I just had this faith that anything this bad often leads to something pretty amazing on the back of it. This whole kind of breakdown to breakthrough, etc. And within a couple of weeks or so, it became very apparent that this was for a better purpose. before I go into that, what I immediately did, and was really interesting, was I gathered my leaders. I had a number of leaders in my business that I worked with, and straight away, within a matter of hours, we're getting together online, an online meeting, to discuss what had happened and about the fact that we all want to stick together because we enjoy working together. And it's one of the things it's really taught me is the power of community, the power of human relationships, and the power of a network. And so we got together, we stayed strong, said, right, we're gonna find something together that ticks the box for all of us as a team. And that's exactly what we did. And within 2 weeks, we were into a new business model that we were all even more excited about, because it was actually more driven for networking than direct selling. So that was what we were all looking for as well, with products that were manufactured to the same high standards, and with a business that actually is really going places and has some huge having huge investment right now to launch in Europe. And we're really excited about what really the next 12 to 18 months are going to be, and that we're all at the beginning of this initial phase. So very quickly, within a matter of weeks of uncertainty and shock, we've really gone to something where we're more excited, taking more action than we've ever taken before, and that's more aligned with where we want to go as well. So it's been a really interesting process, and of course, because I connected with my leaders and they're connected with their leaders, the beauty of this model is that message was getting passed on. And so, okay, so not the whole network moved across, but actually enough of the key people moved across. And in fact, there's some argument to be had that those who haven't either just need more time, or some of them actually the networking model isn't what they're looking for, in which case we're spending our time with the right people in the new business and the new business model.
Brilliant.
So it's really turned into a huge positive already.
That's great. It's so good to hear that. And do you think 12 years ago, when you first started out in the industry, if this had happened then, you'd have had the same response? Or do you think that because of the personal development you've done over those 12 years, it's kind of turned you into a different person, which meant that you could handle something like that a lot better?
Yeah, it's a really good question, that, Sarah. And I don't think I would have handled it like I have now, because of the self-development, and also because I didn't have the network that I have now as well. And it's the power of the network, whichever business or company we're aligning ourselves with. Remember, you're not just in that company, it's the power of the network you've created. And okay, no one's really going to move if they're happy with the company and they're happy with the network. They're not going to move. But when something like this happens, then that's when the community come together. And, yeah. Absolutely,
and that, like you said, it just shows the power of relationships. Because if people like people, they will stay with them. And I will say to people, people don't leave people. They'll leave a company or an organisation, but they do not leave people. So having that culture and that community behind what you do, I think, is absolutely vital in this industry. Absolutely vital. And I think that's where some network marketing companies do go wrong. They just focus completely on the business model, but they don't focus on people and the community and the culture side of things. And that's why it's very easy for people to just walk away. But people do not leave people.
There's a real lesson. I've learned so many lessons in the last week, I can't tell you. But one of the lessons I've learned is how valuable it was for me to work with and nurture people and run regular events and mastermind days and online events with my team, because that meant that a huge percentage of them moved across. Now, there were some other people in the network that maybe hadn't been as good at keeping in touch with the people they'd sponsored in and brought into the business. They were still enjoying the income, but they weren't continually supporting those people. And those people didn't have as much success about moving their network across. So the big lesson to anyone in network marketing is look after your people, stay connected to your people. Nurture those people. And okay, they might not need as much support the more successful they become, but still make sure you've got something that you're doing to connect with them on a regular basis.
Yeah, absolutely. It's about friendships, isn't it? Like, I remember listening to an audio when I started, and it said you should know the colour of all of your consultants' carpets, because it's not just about talking.
You're going to say about the personalities then, not the carpets. But...
both. But yeah, it's about building relationships. Like for me, obviously, there's a lot of people in my organisation as well, but they don't need me to teach them anything anymore because they know just as much as I do. But it's about the fact that we still chat on a regular basis and do things together, because it's about that friendship and that bond that we've built, and it's about people coming together that creates that energy. The more people that you have that are like-minded together is the biggest force to be reckoned with. Whereas when it's, on your own, when you're on your own, it's not as it's just not as powerful, is it, as you all linking arms together and getting excited together about the future and what's happening.
I couldn't agree more, Sarah. And you know, as we know, and you've probably heard these sayings before, and people have, you know, it's who you become on the journey, not necessarily the destination. And also for me, it's about sharing that journey with my tribe of people that I like and know and trust and enjoy spending time with. And for me, that's one of the most enjoyable parts of this business. So
yeah, absolutely. For me, it's very much about making sure that everyone who I personally sponsor into my organisation is someone I would class as as a friend. I would like them as a friend, because the reality is you're going to be spending a lot of time with those people. So if it's someone that you don't quite have a connection with, then it's not going to work as well as if someone was someone that you just can get on with. And I think because the industry attracts a certain type of person anyway, you know, very like-minded people coming together, that's what you often find.
Yeah, so true. And I think that's where it's really interesting, is the more personal development people have, then the more they attract people who have also done personal development, that are in a strong place to build a business from. So success breeds success with this kind of business.
Absolutely, which leads very nicely onto personal development, which, Chris, I know you've got some questions you wanted to ask about the personal development side.
Yeah, it was, what do you think is the biggest personal development breakthrough that you've had? I mean, you know, when people join network marketing, they go through the whole acquisition of books and reading books, and it's like, I mean, like I always say to people, you can't read yourself to swim. You've got to get in the pool. So reading the books is one thing, and it keeps you motivated and it keeps that whole thing going, but ultimately you've got to go out there and do something. And it's having done something and realized that, now I understand. It's like, what do you think the biggest moment in your journey has been in terms of personal development?
I think the biggest thing I've got for my personal development is, it's hard to say when there's so many things, but confidence. It's given me a huge amount of confidence. I started off within a few months. I was asked to speak at a small event where there was probably about 20 people, 15 people, and I said yes. And I sat in the audience with sweaty palms, heart rate going, just for me to do my 5-minute talk about how a product had helped. And then over the years, that's now grown to me absolutely loving and enjoying every opportunity I get to speak in front of lots of people. And just recently, it was 200 people, with the CEO of the company, the president of the company, all in attendance, sat on the front row to my side. Okay, it was 10 minutes, but I absolutely loved being able to contribute and sharing what I had to share. And so to push out those comfort zones, if I can do that in front of 200 people, then I can do it in small groups, I can do it online, I can do it face-to-face with an individual. So just saying yes to things that made me feel uncomfortable and stretching those comfort zones, I think, has been hugely beneficial.
Absolutely, and it follows through into everything in life then, doesn't it? When like you said, once you've done that thing that you thought you could never do, you just think, well, I can do anything. If I put my mind to it, I can do anything. And yes, I may get a bit of that, you know, nervous feeling in my belly or those sweaty palms, but it doesn't paralyze you, whereas, you know, before it could have been the thing that stops you doing it.
It's facing your fears, and I think public speaking is one of the biggest fears actually for a lot of people. So I just encourage anybody just to grab that if they get that opportunity, say yes and do it. And you know, we're not going to get it right first time. It happens over time, and I've been really grateful of getting that opportunity. So, and it's been a huge element to the success I've had in my business. Huge.
Brilliant.
Anything else, Chris?
Here's a question. When I was talking to a chap a couple of weeks ago, and one of the things that comes across from network marketing is that people associate what a person or where a person is in their business with some of the things they get up to. And on this particular situation, it was a combination of holidays and bits and pieces. And I know for sure that actually it wasn't to do with the network marketing industry per se, but that was actually all paid for in another way. It's something that I know some people are guilty of in network marketing. It's almost like no one asks because they're too polite, and no one offers the truth because they don't want to basically break the, if you like, the illusion. But obviously that's one of the things that I've actually experienced personally with network marketing, and what that does, unfortunately, for the industry, and this is about positives and negatives, is it can give people a feeling that it's not totally authentic, and it's not really. I don't know whether you've experienced this yourself or not, but it's something that I think one of the things that this show needs to do really is to sort of break down some of the issues and challenges that people have kind of levied at it, and I think that's one of the problems that, I mean, just recently, Sarah, there's been a whole load of people that have gone out to Las Vegas. Some of them will have gone out because of the earnings that they've made from the industry. Some of them will have paid to go out there because they wanted to be part of that experience and be excited by it. And it's not easy to determine which ones are which. And I think, and I don't know whether they have the same kind of thing in what you've been involved in, John, but it's just one of those things that I think perhaps the industry needs to be a bit cleaner about. What are your thoughts on that?
It's interesting. I mean, certainly I've been in this bit of a bubble with the business that I've been involved in, really, and I've not looked outside it too much either, if I'm honest. And I didn't see a huge problem in that bubble. In fact, I didn't see any problem with people not being authentic. If anything, people were probably a bit quiet about what they're doing. They needed to talk more about what they were doing and where they were going. But for me, it's about being totally authentic, being true to ourselves, being ourselves. People can tell a mile off, I think, really. Okay, it's maybe more difficult to tell online than it is when you're speaking to someone face to face. But yeah, I've often found the truth does find its way out eventually. So it's always best to be truthful from the beginning. Certainly the trips that we used to have in the company I was working with, you qualified to get there. Yes, some people could pay for it. And yeah, I find it difficult because my brain just doesn't work that way to be deceitful or to paint a false picture. So I find it hard to imagine that other people would.
And I guess as well, it very much shows about perception, doesn't it? Like what your perception may have been, Chris, of a Facebook status that you read may have been very different to the perception that that person had when they wrote it. So they may have in their head seen it as, I'm saying I'm going to a conference because it's our annual conference and we all go, even though we pay, we go because it's like a job. If you went and had a job and they said, right, you've got your annual conference in Vegas every year, you've got to go, you'd be going. So maybe in their head, the way they wrote it came across like that, but from an outside perspective, it may have been seen that it was, oh, the company's taking them to Vegas. So it's so interesting to see that differentiation of perception as well as to what people perceive and what people are trying to get across. And I think that's where sometimes the internet and social media can backfire because it's not always black and white. Whereas having a conversation, obviously you get to find out a lot more, but pictures, you can't always tell. And there's actually a really good video that's going around on Facebook at the minute, which I laughed at so much yesterday, about Instagram. And it shows the reality of a woman's life on Instagram. And it's like all these little videos of people putting themselves in these funny scenarios and things and stealing people's dogs and being like, look, my dog's so cute and all this. When actually, just to take a picture for Instagram to make their life look amazing. And it's so, or like there's one of a cookbook and she took a picture of the recipe, or not the recipe, but the picture of the food in the cookbook. And then she's eating like a slab of lard. And it's just things like that because it's that perception, isn't it? So It just really made me laugh, because it is like what people see on social media isn't always exactly as it is. So I think it is very important that we paint a very truthful picture as much as humanly possible, but then it's also understanding that people's perceptions will always be different, and yeah, they'll view a scenario as a different to someone else. So like for me, when I think about the network marketing industry, I don't view it as hard, because I've worked hard in my life. Don't get me wrong, it's not always easy, but I've worked hard in my life. You know, I've worked 6 days a week, 7 days a week, and that to me is hard. Whereas having meetings where I get to spend time with people and have a coffee and do maybe a product event or share some products with people is not hard as I would class it. But for someone else, they could class that as hard. So it's really interesting to think about those perceptions, but also I think it's very necessary and vital to think about the wording people are using when they talk about the industry. So I always say to people, even though I don't view it as hard, I never say it's easy. I always say it's simple, but simple doesn't mean easy. Depends what your perception of easy and hard are. So if you view hard as being going to work 24/7, 7 days a week, yeah, Arbonne is not hard. But, you know, it depends on what that perception of what hard is. Just gone off on one there.
Well, it's just different. People might or might not like doing the things they're being asked to do.
Yeah.
You know, if that's the case, then they find some other more appropriate line of work, whatever it is.
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. It's about finding something that you can be passionate about, so you never feel like you're working, really. So I think when you've got a passion for something, you don't feel like you're working as such.
Okay, it's been really interesting, John, actually, to hear your story, because it's not everybody's network marketing experience.
Absolutely. And John, what would you say? So for people that are kind of looking at the network marketing industry and then maybe thinking those things of, oh, what if the company goes under, or what if the company goes bust, or what if this happens, what would your advice be to those people?
Well, it's really interesting you say that, because part of the conversations I was having when it first happened was with my people in the existing team, and some of them were saying to me, well, what's to say this isn't going to happen again, you know? And my message, and one of the things that really I've learned from the situation, is that nothing for life is certain, whether it be our health or a family member's health, or, you know, the government could change interest rates and suddenly our mortgages go up. I mean, hugely, you know, that happened a number of years ago. Anything can happen, and nothing in life is for certain. And so straight away I've been saying that to people, you know, and if you started your own business in whatever line that was, if it went wrong, would you stop again? Or would you be like someone like Richard Branson, who went again and went again until he found success, or Alan Sugar and all of these entrepreneurs, you know? Just because something didn't happen or went wrong, it doesn't mean you don't go again. Or it's like if someone's in a corporate job, you know, they have a corporate job, and if for whatever reason they're made redundant or whatever happened on that corporate job, then would they not go and apply for another corporate job because of that? No, that's not the reality for a lot of people. Maybe it is. Maybe they'll look and see, well, what could I learn from this and what could I do differently? Which certainly there's lessons to be learned from it as well. But it's certainly not stopped me going again. And for those who have the faith that this is the right industry to create the right kind of lifestyle and make a difference to a lot of lives, then they'll go again, and they are doing. And we're all wiser for it, really.
Brilliant. I love that. It's such a story, and it's such a lesson to learn. And like you said, it's taught, that experience has taught you so much as well and helped you grow to the next level. And I think that's what's exciting. I think most people that you see within the network marketing industry have, because of that personal development journey, the things that would have stressed them out or made them crumble years ago, just kind of go, oh, well, yep, over the head. This is something that I can learn from. What can I learn from it, and how can I get better and progress? And I love that. That's what I love about this industry, is like you said, it's the journey. It's what you become through doing it. It's not necessarily the end destination, because the reality is in life, 99.9% of the time, you're on the journey. You're not, you know, at the end destination. I think we've lost John.
Have we? All right, yeah, he's gone, yeah.
Completely gone now. He's like, I've had enough. Tell the story, I'm done.
It's no problem. We probably
I think we're about up anyway, aren't we?
We can wrap it up. Yeah, it's been a difficult show, with John being sort of unavailable for parts of it and his picture being disappeared. So we can hear his voice, but we haven't heard much of. We haven't seen much of him.
Bless him. We can get a little picture and stick him on somewhere.
Yeah. All right. Well, we need to have a little think about what we're going to do in the next few shows, but possibly it's time to start having a few different people talk about the different products and companies, because we haven't done that yet. So
yeah, that'd be great.
We need, but the next show will be on, what is it, the 6th of, will it be the 6th of?
It will be the 6th, which I actually won't be available for because I will have just got married. So I will be abroad.
So when will you be back?
I get back on the 10th.
Okay, so you'll be all right for the month from now, but not for 2 weeks. So I'll see what I can do to keep this going while you're away. But while you are away, enjoy your wedding and your honeymoon.
They come back with a different name.
Yeah. So what will it be?
Sarah Law.
LAW?
Yes.
Okay,
the law. Don't mess with the law.
So anyway. Okay. All right.
Brilliant. Well, thank you very much once again, Chris. And I would say thank you to John if he was there, but he's disappeared, unfortunately. But I will say thank you anyway. So thank you, everyone, for being here and for listening. And we look forward to speaking to you again in a couple of weeks.
Yeah, so there's John now, popped up again. But
you're back. We're just wrapping up and saying thank you to you for being on.
You're welcome. It's been an absolute pleasure, and it's hopefully if people can take something from my experience and it helps them, move forwards or stay smart in the way they're building the business. One of the other quick things I forgot to say was it's made me think how I'm going to invest money more in other things along the journey so that there's more backup should I need them again in the future. But I'm absolutely going to stay with network marketing. I think it's a great business model. For so many different reasons, and keeping faith. It's exciting times ahead.
Wonderful. Well, I'm very pleased to hear it, and I will see you soon, John.
Great to connect with you. Take care.
Take care. Bye. See you later, everyone.
Bye, Sarah. Bye. Bye, Chris.
Bye.
Bye.
Okay. Bye now then.
Bye again.